The official opening of the Ocean Eden Bay Hotel in Trelawny was done recently by the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Most Right Honorable Mr. Andrew Holness. When we return, we'll have the exclusive details of this to come on the program. This is Links 007 TV, panoramic views around the world, and we'll be right back with the details to come. Links 007 TV presents its new and improved panoramic views around the world, showing you different places, different living, foods, and attractions on an international platform. Pleasant viewing. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. This is Links 007 TV, panoramic views around the world. So Jamaica tourism room stock has been boosted with the opening of 444 new room suites at the Ocean Eden Bay Hotel in Trelawny. The Ocean Eden Bay Hotel is an addition to the Ocean Coral Spring, which is owned and operated by the Spanish hotel chain H10 Hotels. In an interview with the Jamaica Information Service News following a tour of the newly opened facility on November the 8th, Director of Sales at the Ocean Coral Spring and Ocean Eden Bay, Tanessa Clark, said that the facility is an adult-only facility all-inclusive hotel. This resort offers 444 junior suites, swim-up suites, master suites, and rooftop suites. In addition to that, the resort has 6 restaurants, a Sense Dinner Theatre, French restaurant, a steakhouse, as well as a main buffet, beach restaurant, and snack area, Clark said. She added that all guests booked at Ocean Eden Bay will have full access to Ocean Coral Spring, which is a family-friendly hotel that has 513 rooms, a bowling alley, convention center, lazy river, water park, a dive center, and 10 restaurants in total. The resort also has in place various COVID-19 health and safety protocols, include temperature check upon entrance, sanitization and social distancing marks, among others. Clark indicated that the Ocean Eden Bay Hotel started accepting guests on November the 1st. However, the official opening for the hotel was held in December. The ceremony was attended by Prime Minister of Jamaica, Mr. Andrew Holness, and Tourism Minister Ed Barclay, among other tourism officials in the sector. Let's now go over to a tour of the property, which is so lovely. The Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Most Right Honorable Mr. Andrew Holness, was on hand for the official opening of this newly constructed hotel in Trelawny, Jamaica, and this was what he had to say at the opening ceremony. Let's go over to that right now, right here on Links 007 TV, panoramic views around the world.
Thank you, Terry. I've been seeing you at several of these events. You are the go-to master of ceremonies in Jamaica. Permit me to remove my mask temporarily. Though I have been relaxing measures, I could say without any fear that I may have to retract, that the mask will not be one of the measures that we will be relaxing for any time to come. The Honorable Minister of Tourism, Edmund Bartlett, and Mr. Antonio Hernandez, Director of International Division, H10 Hotels. I must say you two gentlemen were very brave. It is almost midday, and I must tell you that it is not usual for me to be addressing an audience. So I tip my hat to you, both very radiant sunshine. And I thank you again, Terry, for recognizing that the podium should be brought in a little bit more. Let me acknowledge our members of Parliament who are here. Speaker of the House, Marissa Dalrymple Philibert, the Member of Parliament for the adjoining constituency of Southern Trelawny, and special recognition to your Member of Parliament for Northern Trelawny, where this facility is built. And I also recognize His Worship, the Mayor, Councillor Colin Gager, Mayor of Falmouth, and the Honourable Hugh Gentles, Custos Rotulorum of the parish of Trelawny. My thanks to Reverend Stephen Edwards for his invocation. And let me also acknowledge representatives of the private sector and the public sector who may be here, especially for the tourism fraternity. Members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is good to be back at the Ocean H10 Hotel. I recognize that even as we are gathered here to mark a significant occasion, there is growing concern about the emergence of the Omicron variant of the SARS-CoV-2 virus, which has generated some uncertainties across the globe and here in the Caribbean, especially among tourism-dependent countries. The fact that a number of countries have imposed tighter measures in response to this emerging threat is fueling concerns about the impact that this will have on the travel market. Needless to say that this comes at a very bad time, given that this is now the winter tourist season, the time when the hotel industry usually looks to increase visitor arrivals and increase revenue. But rather than focusing on what we cannot control, our approach has always been to be proactive and focus on what is within our control. Early in the pandemic, in June 2020, we established the Tourism Resilient Corridor with a set of stringent health and safety protocols that were endorsed by the World Travel and Tourism Council. Jamaica was among the first countries to adopt such comprehensive health and safety protocols. And these protocols have served us very well. All through the pandemic, we have not had any significant COVID-related outbreaks among our tourists. Maybe I should repeat that. All throughout the pandemic, we have not had any significant COVID-related outbreaks among our tourists. Even during the peak of the third wave with the Delta variant. So the protocols that we have put in place have held up well, and they have prevented the spread of the disease and the virus within the corridors. And in fact, the results that we have seen would suggest that the positivity rate within the corridor is as low as 0.6%. And that is very commendable. Let me therefore take the opportunity to commend the stakeholders in the tourism industry, in particular the Ministry of Tourism, and also to commend the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Now, if I give you a little secret, maybe it's not a secret, it's probably well known in the industry, that there is significant creative tension, put it that way, between health and tourism. And I see the various industry stakeholders smiling at what I'm saying. And it is really very necessary for this tension to exist. And that is how we get the best results. So we get the best results in terms of having our visitors being able to move about freely, being able to enjoy this beautiful sunshine and beautiful beach, but at the same time to be safe because of the very intense examination of the proposals that are brought to the table. I have been in some of those meetings being mediator, and I'm satisfied that the interests that are at play have to intersect, and in that intersection an equilibrium is reached that is both in the interest of the safety of the population and in the livelihood and economic interests of the population as well. So while we are preparing ourselves for what could be a fourth wave, our current infection rates are extremely low nationally. Over the last week, we have had less than, on average, 50 new confirmed cases per day, and our positivity rate now approximates 5%. However, there is no room for complacency, and I want to emphasize the need for all Jamaicans, especially our hardworking tourism workers, to get themselves vaccinated, to shield themselves, the guests, and of course, their own families and friends with whom they must interact every day. I understand that the vaccination rate among tourism workers is moving towards 70%, and that's very high and very commendable. And I have to give special commendation to the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association. They have done very well in mobilizing the industry for vaccination along with the Ministry of Tourism. So my commendations to the President, Mr. Clifton Reader, on ensuring that the industry is mobilized and that the workers are vaccinated. Tourism is the heartbeat of Jamaica, and it is also the heartbeat of our economy to a large extent. So this is not an industry that we can allow to be affected and restricted by the pandemic. We have to manage it carefully to ensure that we preserve the safety and security and the health of both workers and visitors. But at the same time, we also have to ensure livelihoods of the people and stakeholders in the industry. So I believe that the industry players, especially the workers, have a duty and an interest in protecting the industry. And therefore, I would repeat the point that the best way to ensure that the industry can open up to its full potential, that it can operate and deliver the gains and economic benefits that we want, is that everyone in the industry should protect themselves by being vaccinated. Obviously, I won't go into all the issues. I was here in the parish a few weeks ago conducting a vaccination tour, and I believe I stopped at one of these hotels, and I was speaking to a worker, and I asked, "Are you vaccinated?" And the worker replied, "I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it." So the issue, Minister Bartlett, it's not so much resistance to vaccine. It is uncertainty about vaccines. It is the hesitation. And what we have adopted as a strategy is that we can't force anyone to be vaccinated. And even if we could, we wouldn't. What we try to do is to constantly educate our people, to constantly reassure them, and to make the vaccines available. You notice I'm turning this way because I'm speaking now not to this audience that is probably 99% vaccinated. I'm speaking to the audience listening around who probably are maybe 65 to 70% vaccinated. That this attitude of waiting to see what is going to happen. It's 2 years almost now, and what we have seen from waiting is that the longer we wait, the more variant strains of the virus that will emerge. And the more variant strains emerge, it will create a threat for those who are not vaccinated. But it will also create a threat for those who are vaccinated, because some of these variant strains might be evasive to vaccines already administered. So it is important, and I'm appealing now to all the tourism workers, all the stakeholders, don't wait too late. One incontrovertible fact, of all the things that you see circulating on social media, and every morning I'm certain you get a healthy dose of, the anti-vax material. But there's one incontrovertible fact, that 98% of the persons occupying our hospital beds, those who are ill, serious enough to be admitted, are unvaccinated. So I use this platform to appeal to our tourism workers, please get vaccinated. Now, since becoming Prime Minister, such a long time ago, it feels like such a long time ago, I have been to more groundbreaking ceremonies than maybe any other Prime Minister before. You met the one other, but certainly in recent times. And indeed, when I do my checks in terms of hotels and tourism-related groundbreakings, they have been significant. There is indeed a genuine interest in investing in Jamaica. And I'm happy for that. I'm happy for that. It is not only our warm and welcoming culture. It is not only our seductive and alluring beaches and waters. And I'll make a comment that this hotel is strategically located to benefit from Jamaica's salubrious environment. You have the lovely Caribbean Sea in front of you. But then as you turn, you see our majestic and glorious verdant green mountains behind you. And so you are sandwiched in Jamaica's beauty, right in this location. But it is not just the environmental assets, the natural assets that attract you. Jamaica is a stable, very stable democracy. In addition to that, Jamaica has a very resilient economy. With all that has happened around the world, and we see debt increasing, particularly in small island developing states, especially within the Caribbean. We see other signs of economic instability creeping in. Jamaica's economic performance has been very stable. The rating agencies, whilst others have been revised and downgraded, Jamaica's rating has been reaffirmed. And so that is also another reason why investors are looking to Jamaica. We intend to increase our presence in another frontier, and that is in the ease of doing business and the efficiency of our public bureaucracy. And when you put all of those things together, Jamaica would be uncontested in the region as a place where you should have a commercial footprint and investment. So we see this opening here today as a strong sign and endorsement of Jamaica as a country, but also the government and governance of Jamaica. So there are not many countries that can be hosting a ceremony like this today. In spite of COVID, in spite of the fall off in travel, in the tourism industry, Jamaica is opening this magnificent hotel. I want you to appreciate this, that the investors did not say, let me wait until after the recovery. Let me wait until after the pandemic. They went ahead, and Minister Bartlett will tell you that there are several other projects that are going ahead in spite of the pandemic. And you have to ask yourself, why is this so? The previous experience, when we have had other exogenous shocks to our economy, is that many investors, in fact almost all the investors, said, you know what, let us wait to see what the recovery would look like. But we see the construction industry in particular moving ahead with investments. And you ask yourself why? It's a simple answer. The regulatory and economic management environment is such that it inspires confidence that Jamaica will have a V-shaped recovery, meaning that there was a steep fall off, but we're also going to have a steep rise. But more than that, not just going to be a V, it is going to be a tick, because we're going to recover to where we previously are, and we're going to go even higher. Frankly speaking, Jamaica's tourism industry is ripe for investment. And as I flew here, so I had an opportunity to track the coast a little bit, and it's just amazing the potential that exists. But as we approach our 60th year of independence, and you know, the 60th year has generated much interest in our status as a nation. And those questions will be addressed shortly. But there's one thing that I'm reflective on, and that is, the nation is as the nation does. And there are some people who want to speak prosperity into being, speak sovereignty and independence into being. My philosophy is that we must do these things into being. We must make them happen. They must not be empty symbolism. It must be genuine. It is what we are in our actions and in our achievements and what we have done. So I am building towards the aspiration. So when we say we are any interrogation.
Well, there you have it. That was the official opening of the Ocean Eden Bay Hotel in Trelawny, Jamaica. I hope that you enjoyed watching as we enjoy broadcasting this to you. This is Links 007 TV, panoramic views around the world. And this is where we say so long for now. Peace out and bless and have a productive day.